It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Seahawks and the Wizards. And it's all up next.
Now from the so-called City Beautiful and home to the Madden studios, this is EA Sports coverage of the National Football League from Orlando, Florida. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks and the Orlando Wizards. Hello again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Orlando team as they enter play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense, and it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. And if you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The numbers on the ground for Walker a week ago. 19 carries, 85 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Again, it's Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side. The big fella. Still going inside the 20. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Jake Moody now for the point after. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. Now Geno on 1st down. Now right to Moore. And He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Smith. That is incomplete. When you look at this defense, they currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. There's some nice young faces playing for him. Let's see if they can get this going.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. For that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a much-discussed third-rounder in last year's draft. The second-year pro out of Cincinnati, Desmond Ridder.
And you know how scouts always talk about checking all the boxes? I think this young man does exactly that when you're looking for an NFL quarterback. Proven leader. Teams went 43-6 while he was in college. Has speed, dual-threat ability, and the production off the charts while he was in school, and also did a nice job of limiting turnovers. When you put it all together, there's a lot to be excited about for this young quarterback.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Tough to imagine any team wanting to give a player like this up in a trade, but I know they're happy to have it.
It is amazing, isn't it? But we have seen big-time guys change teams. Jimmy Graham, Brandon Marshall, and their new teams are really excited to have them because they provide big-time targets.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down. And the numbers for Gibbs from last week, 12 carries, 61 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a give to Gibbs, running left. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Another run for Gibbs here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's an exciting time here in Central Florida for sure. Orlando's such a growing city, and now it's got a relocated NFL franchise to call home. And I know one group of people who are thrilled. That's the Madden developers right down the street. They're pumped. But truthfully, everyone in this city seems ready to support this team to the fullest. And even the players, everybody on down the line. enjoy this Orlando experience.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Ritter.
And a throw there going to be incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. Geno now to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop it.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Geno.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Oh, good move. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Off the play fake, it's Ritter. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
And off to Gibbs, headed right here.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Here's Ritter.
And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Orlando with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Ritter back to throw.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
Jack Campbell, a first-round pick there on the tackle. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. Shedding through the defense. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Orlando takes back over on offense.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Here's Ritter again. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the 1st at the 32. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And as a result, possession switches hands. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
They'll go again with Gibbs. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Ritter now looking to throw it this time.
Back in the end zone. Can he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Ritter to throw it.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. He's able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Looking to throw it here. Ritter.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This is caught. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick here is good.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Now Geno. And it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Rough incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
And complete to Smith and Jigba.
No gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Ritter throwing on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Jack Fox now gets set to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando. And sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A gain of 22.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Now is 2nd and 10. Ritter will set up to throw it. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Ready.
Back to throw, Ritter. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. Without
up the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Second and 10. Ritter now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to. Walker hitting the ball is out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nate Hobbs. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for him here in the second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
Orlando takes back over on offense. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. Fighting his way through contact. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 108 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense. Able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Tajay Spears with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Wizards are able to extend their lead. I'll tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Smith. Can't get away, and he's taken down. That was Patrick Peterson from his quarterback spot, whirling in for the sack. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. We have played 3 quarters. Welcome back live to Orlando. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to give them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
12 yards there and a 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On the ball.
Ritter with it after the play fake. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. Jamar Chase. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Wizards are on their way to a 2-0 start. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Moody good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Smith. That is caught. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
13 minutes.
From the gun, it's Walker. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First down, Seahawks.
Now Smith. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Geno now to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
49, flip it off, 49.
Throwing again is Smith. He's got room at the 30. And it's a fumble. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Smith throwing again. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Orlando takes back over on offense. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Jerome Baker crashing downhill and getting the stop. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Ready. Drill, 52.
Ritter now on second down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Ready.
Here's Ritter. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Tyrell Dodson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now Gino on first down.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
2nd and 10, Smith again. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Throwing now is Gino. And that will be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Middle.
Desperation time for Smith on fourth down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
22 yards. First down, Seattle.
From the gun, here's Smith. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. So still 14 yards to go. Second down. Out of the gun, Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. I think this is what this game's become now. You just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll fire one downfield for Fant. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. One last throw here for Smith. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time is run out now on this game. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when